Hello, my name is Shamir from Shamir Does Things, and this is another Friends Do Things video. I'm with my personal peer and friend and colleague and all other synonyms for those words, Tyler Newell. He's a wonderful guitarist and bassist. We talk more about it inside the show. I'm not going to hold you guys too much, but let's get started. Yeah. So we are recording. We are currently recording. Don't say anything to perjure yourself. If any cases are currently open, please do not speak on them. We don't need to hear about them. All that shit. Like, we just want to talk about. I don't know. Just want to talk about stuff. You don't have any?
I won't perjure myself. Don't worry.
You don't have any Fed cases you want to admit to?
Nah.
Do you know who Vlad TV is?
Vlad TV, nah.
Okay, he's this like DJ who does interviews, and I swear to God, bro, he is the feds. Like every rapper he gets on his interview, he's doing everything he can to make them perjure themselves. And then
That's awesome.
it's not awesome at all. They just try to set these people up. That shit is
I mean, they shouldn't fall for it.
He's just a regular ass dude, but he might be the feds. Like I'm not joking. I think he's the feds. And
That's awesome. I want to go on his show. I got nothing to hide.
You going?
Yeah, I sent my DNA into Ancestry. We're good. They got that stuff already.
Is that a white joke?
Kind of.
I guess let's get started then. Hello, I gotta look at the camera. Hello, my name is Shamir from Shamir Does Things. And this is another episode of Friends Do Things where we are slightly annoyed because we've done this before, but you don't need to know that.
I'm not annoyed. I'm happy to do it again.
I'm slightly annoyed. It's not that I don't want to spend time with you because we had such a good conversation. Like, that's it. And now it's lost. Well, it's not really. Not. I deleted it. Yeah, I did delete it.
Oh,
it was unsalvageable.
The audio though.
No,
but not even the audio.
That was the only thing you could have heard, and this is how not what is it called? How much of a not narcissist I am. You could only really hear my audio clearly. It was your audio fucked up. So if I had kept it, it would have just been your fucked audio and then me talking perfectly fine. And that just seems like such a narcissistic thing to release. Like, yeah, I did this interview, but you can only hear me talking. And I'm the most important thing here. Don't play with me. Like that's the whole video is just me saying how important I am. But yeah, back to how important I am. Yes, my name's Shamir. And we're back here with the guest, another guest, the second guest, hopefully returning guest. I don't know how many more guests we can say. Tyler Newell. You can't see my hands. It may look different on your screen, but on my screen, this is him. This is Tyler.
Can't see my hands either.
Yeah. Tyler, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Well, obviously you know my name by now. I am what I would like to call a professional musician. Lots of training throughout school, including college, where I was professionally trained by a handful of people. I have my own band that I actively participate in and play shows with, and then I also get contracted out by other bands to play for them, which I do. I've done quite a bit music, anywhere from like red dirt country to metal to classical music and things like that. So a little bit of everything.
I was gonna say that's a very big spread of genres that do not connect even somewhat. That's like saying like go ahead.
I was like, and jazz was what got me into music and what I think I'm more known for in at least the state of Kansas for jazz. So
I imagine if I knew you like in your hometown and I knew you as a jazz musician and you invited me out to a fucking metal show, like if you didn't tell me it was metal, I'd be confused because I'd show up and be like, oh man, I really loved how he played those guitar chords in that jazz band. It was so nice. Then you get there,
yeah, it happens.
It happens.
There's a jazz musician. Jazz music just translates so well to metal and in so many other things that I think everything just copies jazz at this point.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think a world without jazz. I think the two most copied genres are blues, jazz, and soul. Like those are the three.
Easily.
Yeah, those are the
Easily.
like the most copied genres. I could even go on a tangent to say rap is a like a fall down from blues lyrically, and then it just like kept going. Not saying fall down as in bad. Like it's like if you looked at the tree branches, there was like a logical conclusion, and somehow rap ended up there. And like hip hop is like a fall from jazz and soul and a bunch of other stuff. Like music stems,
Easily.
yeah, music stems from weird places. Would you say country has a connection to rock music?
Yeah, I would say country. I feel like blues and jazz formed both country and rock and metal, in my opinion.
Blues and
Uh,
jazz?
yeah, a lot of them, a lot of the country stuff is based off of like blues and just changing some of the chords just a little bit, and it gets that country twang sound. So
Country twang?
yeah, that twang. Did I say it with a twang?
You said it with a twang. You said,
Is my Midwest stuff coming out? My
yeah.
bad. I'll try to cover it up next time.
All right. So I'm low key saying fuck the docket for right now. We'll get to the docket.
Okay, all right.
We'll get to the docket when we get to the docket. I was trying not to curse at the beginning and recording of the video. You know, demonetization. I'm not monetized, but you know, just in case. Like we don't know what could happen. We don't know. I made a clickbait video that I'm ready to release. It's clickbait as fuck. I can't wait. I really can't wait for it to come out. But
I'm excited.
what was the first thing? I kind of want to talk more about those like divergent of like genres falling down, because a lot of my musical influences, like I remember we talked about this before, how I feel like a lot of people's musical influences, especially people who are musically talented or just diverse in music, usually like especially people who create music can accept a lot more music than a lot more other people. So like I was talking to another musician friend of mine, and me and him always talk about like, yeah, we listen to a lot of rap, but we're also taking in like other stuff. Like I listen to a lot of EDM and like fucking I don't listen to dubstep. Dubstep's weird. I'm sorry, I gotta say it out loud.
I inadvertently began to love dubstep a few years ago, but that's a story in itself.
Hey, enjoy yourself, bro. I hope you have a great time.
I never would have gotten introduced to it at all if Skrillex wouldn't have came around, because the Skrillex came from like the emo post-hardcore genre music, and out of nowhere, after he did a few records with his main band from first to last, went out and did that his Skrillex dubstep stuff, and that's the only reason I got exposed to it.
Okay.
Without him, I wouldn't even have listened to the genre.
I think like I went through a dubstep phase, and I'll call it a phase because I just don't listen to dubstep anymore. Like if I think dubstep did influence a lot of my earlier I'm putting up air quotes for this SoundCloud records, because everything I had made, I like when I wasn't making anything I was rapping on, I was building beats the exact same way you kind of build dubstep, where it's nothing but build and then drop and then like build drop. And that was my entire form for making music. It was just like nothing but builds and drops. And like I think one of my most popular songs I had made back then was literally like me trying to copy dubstep. Essentially, like it was me trying to make I don't know. There's probably a subgenre for it now. This is a rare argument to go on. I kind of hate subgenres. I think subgenres don't need to exist. The moment you have to give it its own genre, you're doing too much. Like I don't like separating. Like it's just on the last podcast I talked to with Ato. I almost said her actual name. I would have had to bleep that out. Well, last time she was like, I don't get into rock subgenres because like it's just too many. And I was in my head thinking, there shouldn't be. It's rock. It's but yeah. My most popular song was low-key just a dubstep song, or just a copycat version of a dubstep song. And do you want to know something weird, bro? And I found this out because I watched this in a YouTube video. Did you know people are like, they're not they're not taking they're not copying people's songs, but people are apparently copying structure. And this dude made an
Mm-hmm.
entire video about how to copy structures of songs. And I was so confused that he was like, I feel like that's weird. Is that weird to you?
Uh, it would have been if you would ask me that same question like 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite artists that does kind of that progressive metal things will take rap music or popular pop music and break down the structure and then make his songs kind of around that similar structure. But I think there's a certain formula when you're getting into music itself that structures just work just naturally from how people hear things and they want to, and how we in tune with rhythm,
Mm-hmm.
that if you go too outside that structure, then it's not going to sound as good as it would if it was following that structure. So 3 months ago, I would have said, yeah, that's super weird. But now understanding and watching more people build music and produce music and things, I think that it's not.
I mean, I understand like following a general structure, but the idea of like, and I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the guitarist from Polyphia, or the main artist of Polyphia, correct?
Tim Henson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tim Henson. And I've seen him work, but he does it, I would call what he's doing extreme remixing more than stealing structure, because he's
Gotcha. Oh, stealing structure.
not like, I wouldn't even say it's stealing. Oh, the person who made the video didn't say it was stealing. I'll probably link the video or I'll put it in the
Okay.
comments or something. But what he was doing, like word for word, is he built the skeleton of a song. Essentially,
Okay.
he built the main parts of the song, and then he put one of his own songs. But he said he doesn't like, he'll do it with other people's songs or other songs in general, and he'll listen to that song, see how it builds up, sees how it plays out, and kind of structure and put parts of his song in certain areas to that.
Oh, I thought you meant like they're following structure like verse, chorus,
No,
bridge, outro,
that's
chorus, or something.
that's general music. Like I was,
Okay,
that's
I thought that's what you meant.
no, that's general music. That's like, because I do that. I know uh how much like a verse needs, how many beats a verse needs, how many beats a hook needs, what needs to be in a hook to kind of give this energy. But I've never like, doesn't that sound weird to you? The idea of
Yeah,
someone putting like a song in, like, imagine someone putting a song into Ableton with your track. It was like, all right, I'm just gonna structure it out for you real quick, and you're like, huh? What's going on? It seems like
yeah.
trickery.
I've heard something very recent from that when I was listening to one of the satellite radio channels, and this guy took a "Bring Me the Horizon" song and took the whole song, kept the same structure and everything, tweaked a little bit of it, and kind of added kind of a dubstep flair to it by just changing little bits and pieces, and then recorded like his own little verse in between, but kept the whole other song. And they're like, "Here's such and such with uh the name of the song title from Bring Me the Horizon." I'm just like, really? Like that's Bring Me the Horizon. So yeah, you added an extra verse and tweaked a few little sounds, but that's not your song.
Yeah,
Like it's weird. It's weird to me.
it's like, I'm gonna say like I said, that's downright I'm gonna say it's stealing. I'm gonna say it's stealing.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say out loud it's stealing. Even if he's
Yeah.
copying his own song, but like when he did it in the video, I was thinking to myself, like, whose song you copy for that one? Like, and then it made me not want to go listen to his music, because I felt like anything would be like, it would be disingenuous versus like someone like Polyphia, where I literally watched the video you had showed me,
Hmm.
and it was like, he was copying elements or taking elements, but he was like melding them into his own kind of sound and building it into something completely different.
Yeah,
It
he was changing the chords and everything, the notes, everything.
Yeah,
So
like he wasn't like, uh this brings up another topic. Does anyone else know? This brings up another topic. I don't think it was Taylor Swift. No, it's Katy Perry. I think Katy Perry got sued, or someone sued Katy Perry for a feeling of a song. Do you remember that?
no,
I have to look up that news story, but do you think that's weird that, like, because sampling is ingrained in music, and not even just sampling, like taking literally the sound, it's like certain chord progressions, put in a certain way, mixed with certain melodies, or that's another thing, like, or certain lyrics
Well,
progressing.
I think an actual like example of that in today's times would be Olivia Rodrigo's "Good for You," and how similar it is, almost copied exactly from Paramore's "Misery Business." Like once I heard "Good for You," I was like, "Man, that sounds like Misery Business." You go online, there's all these comparison videos. Yes, there's one or two chords changed, but it's the same song. You know, the same everything else, the same, almost the same vocal patterns. And it's like now I can't even hear that song without I hear it and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go listen to Paramore now. Like, you know,
Do you think
and that's
that's
it.
do you think that's weird, or do you think that's
Yeah,
like wrong? Do you think it's wrong? That's the better question. Not just weird. Do you think it's wrong?
entirely.
Into
And I don't think it's necessarily the artist doing it as much as like the record labels. They know what's gonna work, so they're gonna steal things and then put it out there to make that dollar.
Bro, I'm gonna say something, and I don't know if you're gonna agree with me on this. I don't think record labels are evil.
It's yes. Man, I don't know. Yes and no. There's a lot of really good documentaries that artists have put out about their internal struggles with record labels. I don't think that they're necessarily out there just to screw over artists, but I think they put the dollars above the artist and the music easily.
Yeah, it's a business. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what I talked about this before. I think a lot of artists coming up, and we don't want to treat it as a business, but you kind of have to for certain things. Like
Oh,
there's
yeah.
you have to think about things as a business. You have to act like it's a business. You can't like there's certain things you just won't get away with, or things like that. I don't know what the word is. It's who goddamn. This is gonna bother me. But yeah, just treating it like a business. Like I was
Well,
go ahead, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I would say I mean, even with me and, three of my best friends, we've started a band, but we're getting to the point where merch is getting out, we're recording stuff, we're communicating with other artists to throw shows, and we're buying equipment as a group. It was never, who owned this percentage of equipment or who did this or who put so much money into this before,
Yeah.
because it was just, four friends hanging out and playing music. But it gets to the point where we're having to get contracts made up individually and together for the bank accounts that we have open, who's handling the money, the merch, how much is going to the band, how much is going to us individually. We're not doing that just to be jerks about it. We have to do that so we can run it as the business that it is.
I agree with
We
you.
each have, yeah, it's a lot more work than I think anybody ever thinks about. And even being on the lower level of just playing shows locally and with having a band with your friends, you still have to do all of those things.
Mhm.
And it is a business, like right down to it.
And I feel like mm, and I feel like people don't give that thought enough. They don't take that thought into their mind when they start like music or start groups and get into bands, because that's one of the things that like always breaks up a lot of bands and breaks up a lot of friend groups and people who just hang out, is as soon as money gets involved. uh you see a lot of people. I tweeted this out. I tweeted this out not too long ago. I was like, money doesn't change people, it just makes them more who they are.
Agreed.
Is that's it. Like you see a lot of people's true colors with money. And thank God I met a really cool I'm not gonna call him a kid. He's an adult now. I met a really cool dude, and my producer and me and him have been able to kind of do a lot of things, no problems, especially when money ever came involved. Like he's never tried to fuck me over. I've never tried to fuck him over. We always like, if we ever feel like we have any problems, especially with any of our music or splits or any shit like that, which we never have,
Hmm.
we can. He knows he could call me or text me, especially if it's about some serious shit. Like I don't consider him as like, I keep calling him our producer, but that's low key my friend, and I enjoy talking to that dude. He You need a person in your life who's gonna gas you up, especially that you work with music. So it's always nice having that one person you send your music back to, and he has literally sent me a video of him like holding his face like this, listening to
That's awesome.
one of our
Do you know?
songs.
Do you know who our mutual friend is that is the absolute perfect person that gasses us up for our music?
Are you about to say Cat?
I was about to say Kat. Yep. She low key makes man everything feel better when you're showing her music, man. She's just always hyped.
Yeah, bro. She's a hype man, bro. Cat is a person who makes her friends feel appreciated, which is something you got. You don't know how much you need that in your life until you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like just
And
go ahead.
she listens too, so that's she actually listens, and I feel like she probably has a notebook of all the things that we like and don't like written down, so she can
That sounds
when
more
there's
creepy than cool to me.
oh, I think it's cool though. Like some of the stuff she sent me for my birthday was just awesome, you know.
It was just specific as fuck.
Yeah, yeah, it really was. So it's just like, dang,
What she
people don't.
go ahead,
What's
go ahead.
that?
No, I was trying to remember. She got me. She got me a Piplup and a Pokeball.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got a keychain that she made for me that has our band logo on there, like a band logo that she designed. On the flip side, has a really cool QR code, so people just scan it and go to our stuff. And yeah, that was awesome. We're gonna really run with that idea that she kind of sent us. And then I get a sticker from her that's like a rock sign, but it's all skeletal in front of a black heart that says "Emo's not a phase" or "Emo forever." I forget which, but it's awesome. It's on the back of my car right now.
Speaking about your band,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about your band. I don't think you said the name of it yet.
Yeah, so my band is that I'm in. Well, not my band. I'm jointly a member of a band called Before the Winter. It's three of my what I would consider some of my closest friends that are in person in my life all the time. We've been playing music. Gosh, the guitarist and I have been playing music together since 2008. We met
I was a
in
child.
college.
I'm sorry.
You're fine, man. You're good, bro. Like we were in college in jazz band together is how we met, you know, and we had some similar likes and we wrote a lot of music together back then. And that was back before Facebook was really a thing, and MySpace was how you connected, especially music wise. And I sent him a MySpace message saying, "Hey man, you wanna start a band?" And he was like, "Sure, come on over." And I brought over some riffs and we just wrote together, and it's been magic ever since. He's like the Simon to my Garfunkel, I would say, or vice versa.
No Garfunkel and Oates.
I don't know what that even
You
means.
don't know Garfunkel and okay, I'll have to show that to you later.
But
They're a weird band. Go ahead.
yeah, but him and I started making music, and we started a band, and then decided it was just on Garage Band on a super old Mac computer. We were just recording parts piece by piece and taking all these samples and reworking the samples. And we didn't have a drummer or singer, so it was just us doing all this crazy instrumental things. And then we snagged his John's best friend Ryan that he kind of grew up with, and he kind of took over as vocalist and rhythm guitar. And we went through two drummers back then before we really got into another band. And every time we lose a member, we change our band name because we felt like that was fair because we weren't the same people making the same songs.
Mhm.
And through a series of events, you know, our band broke up. Gosh, I would say probably 2010. And then we got back together on a whim because our city was doing this Battle of the Bands deal, and they needed more bands to come together. So we resurrected our old band, and about that was 2019, and then decided to, hey, we got something special. Let's write music together and keep going. And it's been a big 2 year process, but like I said, now it's actually taken off. We got merchandise that should be showing up here pretty soon. We've been getting our online portfolio, like our online shopping thing put together, our online warehouse to get stuff shipped to people. It's been a trip, man. We've been talking with this band out of Canada recently. They're about to do this U.S. tour, and we're wanting to try and get some stuff going with them as well as some of the other local bands around our area. So it's just it seems like it's been a whirlwind since we started, especially right after COVID kind of started to ease out and music was coming back again, and it's just been awesome. But we're hoping to be recording some songs here shortly. I really, thanks to your help, you know, dove into Ableton and It's one of the coolest things I've ever got to use for. Like all day today, I had videos up. I had videos up on one monitor, and then Microsoft Word on the other. And I was feverishly taking notes and things. And
Bro, can I just tell you something? And
yeah,
I'm
man.
gonna say this to you: you should not watch those videos. You should just
Why?
I know, no. The videos are gonna teach you shit. They really are. But
Yeah.
there's something special about exploring a DAW and learning shit.
Right, and most of what I'm trying to learn the shortcuts to keys, like tab opens up the options and Control L will loop it for you automatically. It's mostly that. And I
You,
was wanting your help at some point too to try and figure out how to do some other things. But I have never really dove in and messed with. I was setting up reverb, and it let me control the pitch and the tone, and then how fast it has like the wavelengths and the sound. Like it was crazy, man.
bro,
And building our own tones to try and match what we do live. So
yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something, and the producer community might get mad at me for this, and they're not ready to hear this. I think Ableton is the easiest DAW to pick up.
oh, easily.
Like,
And
I've
go
tried.
ahead.
I was gonna say I've tried Studio. I've tried Studio One. I've tried Reaper. I've tried FL. I know FL because I used it for years before I got into Ableton. But like when I picked up Ableton and like really dialed into it, I could never use anything else, especially with all their updates, like and all the things they have. Like, oh my god, Ableton is in my opinion, the easiest DAW I've ever picked up.
I would say it's one of the easiest I've ever played with as well. I've dabbled with Pro Tools when I've bought in certain equipment that have come with the light versions of Pro Tools or Sonos,
Mm-hmm.
or I was in the Reaper. That was a really cheap one to get into, and I probably said GarageBand was always kind of the thing I go back to because it was easy, but not as easy as Ableton. Like really.
Like if
We're not sponsored by Ableton, let me tell you, but
hey,
dang,
I want them to.
I want them to as well.
Sponsor me. I'm gonna send them an email. I'm gonna send them an email after this. Hey, I gave y'all a bunch of free fucking promotion. I need a push to and $1,000 in my bank account.
But you know what? Just made me think too. Back to my comment about when we changed our band name when we'd lose members.
Mhm.
I hate it when bands don't do that. Like they'll lose their front man, their vocalist, and they're like, "Nah, we're gonna keep the same name." And I'm like, "Why?" One of my favorite bands growing up is going to be about 3 hours away from me, and they got rid of their lead vocalist, and it's an entirely different sound. And their drummer sang and played drums. Now he just does vocals only. They got a different drummer. They added in somebody else to scream, and it's just not the same, man. Like, change your name. That's all I got to say is change your name.
I mean, I kind of understand that because I completely when I felt like my music was changing, I changed my name. Do you know my original music name, bro?
No,
Do you,
I only know it as Shamir.
yeah. My original music name was all right, let me tell you all of them. Let me tell you all of them. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. I never had a little or a young in my name. I promise you.
I'm glad. I would have lost a little respect for you.
The first one was Just D.
Just D, like
Just
okay.
D. No,
okay.
No. The full name.
Just the letter D.
No quotation marks. Just D in quotations.
I like it.
That was the first name. If you ever find my old Reverb Nation account, that's that's where I was popping off. I think 2011, Just D. Then we switched to D Note. Then like middle high school, someone asked me, what's the D stand for? It's like and then we finally got to the longest running name, which was Different Note. And I loved that name for like a year, and then after a year, I was like, "This is the worst possible name I've ever come up with. We should have just stayed with Just D."
Man, that's funny. See, we had ours were kind of funny. Our first one was when it was just John and I. We were the Nevis Project. It was just him and I, and it was 7 backwards. And for some reason, in 2008, that was cool.
That sounds cool as fuck. What the fuck are you talking about? Why did you stay with that? That sounds awesome.
Because we added more members and turned into more of a rock band, and then we were before the winter. We were the first iteration of that band, Then our drummer left. We got a new drummer, and we kind of changed our music a little bit again, and we became After the Fall.
Mhm.
And then we lost our singer at that time. We got a new guy who was screaming for us. Instead, he went from like metal or from like rock to metal, and we were Embrace the Flood, which I thought was really cool. And then with this project coming up, we there was a few names thrown around. One of the coolest ones was Heartland, because there was this city around us that was called Heartland that was burned to the ground back in like the 1800s and stuff. And being in Kansas, the heart of the country, whatever, it was just a cool play on words. But that never really stuck because of some other musicians that left. But then we just went back to Before the Winter. So
wait, hold on. You went back to an old name?
yeah, because it was basically the original lineup minus our drummer. And there were so many band names. We spent almost a full year trying to come up with a band name. I'm not even kidding. We'd all throw out hundreds of band names all the time. 90% of them were just stupid names just to be funny with your bros. But then the other 10% were actually serious. And there was a big vote throwdown, and some of the names were Abandoned Ships, which I thought was really cool. Ashes for Tomorrow, which I kind of turned into my own little side project, and then Before the Winter, and Before the Winter just kind of stuck. So
I like Before the Winter. I think that's a really cool name. What was the other one? I'm still not over Nevis.
Nevis Project.
Nevis Project sounds like I'm making that an album. I'm stealing that. It's stolen.
Do it. I give you permission.
Put it on a clipboard. 4 years from now, you're gonna be like, "What's this album?" You go open up Spotify. Nevis Project.
Yeah, we spelled it with a K, like because we stole that from.
Never mind. I don't want
it. What's wrong with that?
Never mind. Like, where's the K go?
Where the C would go? Project.
Oh, I thought you were saying like in the Nevis. I was like, what the fuck?
No.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, it was in Project, because at the time Linkin Park was massive because they had just come out with Hybrid Theory and they had their Project Revolution tour. And so
did they have a K? It's because Linkin Park.
It was because of Linkin Park.
So you were in a Linkin Park cover band?
No, we made our own stuff. We just liked how they spelled Project with a K. It seemed cool.
Was it cool with the K?
I mean, that was popular from 2002 to about 2007, but it was the popular way was KEWL, and I always hated that.
I was about to say I was alive during those times. I want to know where that was popular.
You were too young, man.
I was too young.
It was before cell phones, bro. Like it was just MSN Messenger and being stupid.
Bro, I'm so mad I did not. I'm not mad because I have so much technology available to me, and I grew up like learning a lot of technology, so I like inherently had a lot of advantages when it came to it. But I would have loved to release music in the mic. If I was able to produce the music I'm making now in the MySpace area, I'd be the biggest artist of all time. Just pure.
Oh yeah.
It wouldn't even be a competition. Who's really gonna argue with me about this? Like
it was.
Go ahead.
It was awesome back then, man. Like we had one guy in our town who created a whole music scene, and we where we live, we're just off one of the main highways that connects like Denver to KC and everything. Mm-hmm. So bands are constantly traveling on that road, and there wasn't YouTube or anything realistically. So they played every venue they could find between shows every single day. And I got to meet, hundreds of bands that would just come through here, and everyone was exchanging MySpace and everything. And it was awesome, man. It was good. That's why I kind of glad I grew up without YouTube and in that cell phone area, because there was a lot more connection to the artist that you had in person versus just through a screen.
I think that's one of the best things about being like coming up as a smaller artist is how much connection you get with the people who genuinely like your stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like the people who listen to entire projects. This is actually a really interesting topic I want to transition into, because I just kicked my fucking desk. This is an interesting topic I wanted to transition into.
Don't want to show logos.
Yeah, don't. Oh, you're about to show logos?
No, I know a logo on my drink had to cover it.
They're not sponsoring us. We
No.
We need that check. If you want to show anything, bro, why you got a Venom shirt on? Marvel did not give us that check.
I mean, Sony owns Venom right now, but
Sony did not give us that check.
Nah, bro.
What was I going to say? So we live in the streaming era. We live in the streaming era of music. We're currently in the streaming era. And this was brought up kind of not too long ago. It was like, do people still care about albums? And what is the for artists coming up, especially for newer artists, is it even worth it to put the effort into a good album versus just making some singles and throwing some songs on there?
That we've kind of struggled with that as a band also, um, because you're right, everyone's just streaming. But since we explore a lot of different types of music, like we can have everything from heavy and country sounding stuff to other things, where we can release EPs where it's just certain sounds, or we're really trying to find the music and what emotion or almost like a journey you want to take listening to it, so where we can build out that journey, which we could do on a CD and put some of our songs together that we want to have kind of ebb and flow. But it's me, I like it. I like albums. I like EPs. Now I don't go out and buy them anymore. Um, but I'll add the album through like Apple Music or Spotify or
Can I
something.
ask you a question?
Yeah.
What was the last album you bought, if you remember it?
Oh, well, I actually just bought one a month ago.
What'd you buy?
Uh, I bought the new album that Spirit Box is releasing. I can't think of it. Eternal Blue.
Okay.
I actually bought an actual album that they released, and then also bought the CD.
Okay. Okay.
You know, and for certain artists, you know, I want to support them. You know, and that's all it's about, is support. Like if you were to put out an album where I could buy, I would buy it just to support you.
I definitely I didn't tell you about this fucking I remember I was trying to like release one of my I was way younger and I was a little bit stupider, especially with how like not knowing you needed a fan base for some of these things, but I was trying to release shit on vinyl when I was in like I was 16, and I went through a crazy ass process. Like it was really really weird and really stressful, and I'm kind of mad at myself for the amount of time I spent on it because I could have spent it on different stuff. But like trying to buy shit on vinyl, okay, trying to buy shit on vinyl is really really weird. Like
It
go ahead.
I can imagine, you know, and I didn't realize you ever got into it. I didn't know if that was an easy thing to do or not.
It is not. It is not, especially as like a solo, or especially as an indie artist or an indie group. You have to go through a printing company. You have to go through them. They have to do all this extra shit. I look, you found out I think it's like easier to get your shit on cassette tape. Like no joke, it's easier.
I bet
easier to get your shit on cassette and
the
push
two
that up.
people that still do that probably take all the money they can get.
I rather sell a bunch of cassettes than a bunch of MP3s.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, music stuff. Music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so back to what I was saying. You know,
Baby.
when we're talking about fan bases and where to focus and focusing on, you know, that smaller group of friends and family, you know, that's one of the craziest things that we've had to kind of identify is what target you want to go after, because there's so much data and information. Like if you want like the younger generations, TikTok's where you need to be. You know, Twitch isn't really good for starting out on, only after you have that fan base. YouTube and Facebook are for the older generations. Like there's so much weird data and stuff out there. It's been a real learning process to try and identify, you know, who is our target audience. Do we try and go after somebody now that we have a pretty big fan base, or do we just keep doing what we're doing? So it's definitely interesting for sure.
I'd say like for me, what I was starting to learn when I was running ads and stuff like that, I was running ads. I think I was somewhat doing it incorrectly. I was running ads for artists I wanted to be like instead of the artist I was, which I think was one of my first problems I had to identify, because I was throwing ads out like for like, oh, I feel like if someone likes this artist, they'll be able to resonate with me or something like that. Where in actuality, I make completely different music than them. Like I could never chase a Kendrick Lamar ad base because I don't make Kendrick music. I don't make like I had to realize that, which makes me like, it's not sad. because I don't want to make his music because he already makes his music, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
And
So
for the record, I hated those stickers on CDs back in the day. They'd be like, if you like bands like, I remember when I picked up We Came as Roman CDs, like, if you like bands like Devil Wears Prada and Slipknot, I'm like, dude, those aren't even like the same style. Like, what? Just
we're,
trying to get me to buy their stuff. Like,
we're exactly like an in between of these two things. Have you heard Pierce the Veil and also Skrillex? This is that is my next
oh
mixtape.
man. Yeah, I hated that so much. But yeah, speaking of ads, man, ads are a whole nother business anyways to try and think of and who you're advertising to. And I feel like social media sites that you get your band out on or your own artist page, they don't do a very good job of trying to explain anything. They're just throwing tons and tons of numbers and information at you. That's
Mhm.
just like buy our ads because of this wall of numbers.
Yeah.
You know?
Like Instagram is a big actor in that, because Instagram will be like, this amount of people will see your ad. This is the
Mm-hmm.
amount of people. They have no data of how many people interact with it. It's just, this is the number, here's the number range. And you have to gauge from that. Like, I've kind of gauged it as kind of like 1% of the people are gonna click on it. That's my kind of set basis usually, especially especially if you go super wide. 1% of the people who look at your ad are going to click on your link and go and maybe go further. The thing about that, which I'm starting to learn more of, is making the link and the content as easy to get to as possible.
Oh yeah.
Like there can't be even any sort of difficulty. And another thing is people do not like choice, is a thing I also realize, which sounds weird. That sounds really weird to say out loud, but a lot of people don't like choice. They want things to be laid out very straightforward in front of them. And I'm definitely like that. I don't want to admit that I'm like that, but I'm definitely like that. I like I try my best not to interact with ads at all. Like, period, point blank. I try my best not to, because I don't want my YouTube. Bro, I searched, like, I don't even know what it was. I searched shoes once because I started getting into shoes. Hold on, I gotta show you before we do anything. My friend gave me some cool ass shoes with flowers on them, and they're like,
Those are pretty awesome.
yes, these are my favorite shoes. I searched from some shoes like that, and I searched for some shoes like that, and when I like, I eventually ended up going with my friend because he's a shoe reseller, but he doesn't charge too much. I respect him, and he doesn't fuck me over, so
Good friend.
good friend, yeah, good friend. But my entire ads for that, like, for like the prior month, like the month after I've been like, I Googled it once, has been nothing but like, oh, these new shoes are out. Oh, I bet you want these, right? These are like on YouTube and shit. And like, that's why I try my best not to interact with YouTube and shit. Not YouTube, not interact with ads and stuff. And it's crazy how much like the world can, like, around you can change so quickly from a couple of ads.
Oh yeah. It's pretty crazy. There have been a few ads though that kind of got me that I clicked on them, and it'll show like a pretty really well put together music video, and the clip of the song sounds really good, so I'll click on it thinking, man, this is a big new band that's coming out. And I get to their Instagram and it's like they have 300 followers. I'm like, oh, they totally got me. Like, this looked high production, and I wanted to check it out, and then it turned out to be this smaller group, and I'm like, man, like, and it wasn't like pushing their music. It's like, hey, this new band just came out. Here's their name, and I was like, check out their new song, and I was like, cool, I'll check it out, you know. And I clicked on it, and it turns out they're just a start out band too. And I kind of like those versus some of the other ones that I've seen some bands do.
How do you feel about YouTube ads of full songs? Like, someone makes
I
a
would be
music
down for that.
you
I would be down for that.
you watch those? Like, you'll like
No, I pay for premium anyway, so I don't ever see ads. But if they were showing me like full songs of music, like if they did some kind of poll and I chose like what music interests I had, and part of that advertisement was like a full 2 or 3 minute song, I would be down for it
I
if
feel
I saw them.
I never want to give those songs a chance, even though I'm on that side. Like, to be honest,
Hmm.
like, I know I'm producing that content, but when when I try to make ads, I try to make them at most 30 seconds. Like we had in the Lost episode, I'm gonna call it now. I'm gonna call it the Lost episode. In the
We have
Lost,
deep lore.
we have deep lore. In the Lost episode, we were talking about TikTok and
Yeah.
how like TikTok is something you have to. When you make TikToks, you have to make them as short as possible because you want to make them easily digestible. 60-second TikToks are okay, but they recently rolled out something like a 3-minute TikTok, which I think I think nobody should use that. Like that's like there is no reason to use that unless you're posting like entire songs on TikTok and stuff like that. Maybe, or you're just trying to get your sound on TikTok, like you're trying to get that stuff out there. But
yeah, I mean, or more material for people to steal as sound bites to use there. Maybe, I don't know.
That's the
in the last episode we talked about how I don't use TikTok, but if they still find their way to me, the good ones.
That because that's how TikTok is so like we said this already. Neither of us thought TikTok would get as far as they get.
Nope.
I thought when I heard Musically and I heard it renamed itself as TikTok, I thought it was gonna die. Like I was like, oh,
Same.
this shit got like a year, maybe. Like because I remember fucking Snapchat, and I don't know anybody who uses Snapchat now.
I still use Snapchat.
Hey, bro. Sometimes you just gotta say no. Why do you? Okay, let me ask you this. Why? Now let's just call this section social media for right now. Why do you use Snapchat?
I have about probably 12 or 13 people that don't use any other social media, so it's my only way of contacting them.
Is it because it has disappearing content?
No, because we don't really send videos. It's literally just for chatting.
I know, but you can that can disappear if you don't save it. So
I mean, that's true. Maybe I've never really asked them. That's just the only social media they use. Probably when you say it out loud like that.
Yeah, it's interesting, but a lot of Snapchat introduced a lot of sneaky conversations.
Yeah, coming from working in the cell phone world for about 5 years, I saw a lot of really shady things in apps. But I think after you say it like that about Snapchat, that is probably the best one at hiding things.
Yeah. It was Snapchat, WhatsApp, and what was the other? There's another app. There was like another app that's like all about privacy. Like I cannot remember it for right now.
I know people use Marco Polo for a while.
Yeah, Marco Polo.
That was like,
bro, were you around when
there was that one that starts with a K?
Did you use Yik Yak?
No, I've never even heard that.
Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm sure my age.
Yo, my coworkers had to make my Snapchat because I wasn't about it. Like, so
they're like, I'm not.
Like, I didn't even have Facebook on my phone until we did our band Facebook page, and we had to have our own personal on there to be an admin. So
yeah, I know I have to make a Facebook, and I know I have to create something for that traffic. But I'm putting that off as long as I can, just because I'm like, the idea of managing a Facebook, even just kind of posting like we had said in the, I'm not going to keep saying Lost episode because that's going to get unnecessary at one point. Even though we had talked about in the Lost episode that you had, you and your bandmates all had posts you were putting together for it. And I'm trying to, whenever I get the chance, I'm going to try and fit some of my YouTube content into like smaller sections for YouTube and music stuff into smaller, not YouTube, some of my YouTube content into smaller sections for TikTok and stuff like that. But like right now, the idea of like managing a YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at the same time by myself seems like a very daunting task. But you also know this about me. I just love working alone so much because I just either I have to give someone the work and they do all that by themselves, and I never like have to knock on their door, ask like, hey, where is this, blase blase, or I got to do it all by myself. Like that's just how I am.
And it's a lot. Like people, I mean, I personally never realized how much it was to maintain the Facebook, maintain the YouTube, maintain. We only do Facebook and YouTube right now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't, and Instagram. We have Instagram too because we had to for merchandise purposes.
Yeah.
Which I think is a whole nother conversation on corporations being whatever, trying to get you to use their platforms.
Of course.
But between the four of us, we make it a time where each of us, at least post one thing a day. That way we keep the interaction up. We're getting a lot of messages from people saying, hey, I want to work with you. I want to do this. Or, hey, we have this thing. Do you want to talk about it? There's a lot of messages you get, a lot of comments you got to keep up with. There are people that are interacting that they tell you, hey, they're your top fans from this week that are actually putting in a lot of work for you on the advertisement side that you got to keep interacting with. We're talking about other apps and platforms that we're wanting to do to give back to some of those people, but it is a full-time job just trying to manage social media and stay in contact with those people. And I'm lucky that there's four of us. Like, doing it by yourself, I don't even know how you would even find time. Like, one of my favorite quotes I was told recently is, we're talking about famous YouTube creators or other content creators, and everything looks easy, and you always see them like saying, I appreciate all this, I'm sorry, I'm cutting it down to like one video a week because there's just too much to keep up with. And you're like, what do you have to do? Like, what is that? But you're only seeing the finished product. You don't see the grind or the work that goes into maintaining their social media, maintaining their contacts, maintaining their sponsorships, making the videos, editing their videos. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And that was this shit's daunting as fuck. No one ever tells you. No one ever sits down and tells you. And I want to say I'm lucky because I'm doing everything I can to evade burnout. Like I'm doing setups, like I'm creating schedules for myself. I'm creating video ideas I can throw out there. I'm keeping a journal. Like I'm doing pretty much any video that requires major editing from me. I do all of that the week before. That way I don't have to worry about it that week. So I'm always trying to work a week ahead. And the editing part is really hard. And the thing you actually inspired me with this because I realized this later. I realized I need a team, but not in the same way you're imagining. Like I need a team for people. Like I'm trying to slowly build it. Like I finally met a dude who me and him are going to start shooting videos together. I finally got a contact for professional photography and things like that. And it's like, I'm trying to slowly build my group of people that I know, like, this is the people I call. These are the people I call. These are the people I work with. If I'm like doing a rollout, okay, let me I know I need X amount of this. I know I need X amount of this. And it's like, and also knowing like, just slowly building things where I know I can't just do certain shit with like, what was it? Like, I don't know if you remember the memory video or just the visualizer I did. That was all shot at my apartment building by my girl. Like that's all.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was all shot by her. And I liked how it came out, but I definitely knew it could have been a lot better and I could have put a lot more energy and work and money towards it to like build it because we shot that on her old 720p, like grandma camera, like that camera you get and the video was fuzzy in daytime. So you knew it wasn't going to be amazing at night. So we do all that shit, and I'm slowly like getting into this mindset of I need to understand I can't do everything alone, but the things I can do alone, I'm still going to. Like I'm still gonna edit my photos, I'm still gonna edit my videos, I'm still going to like write all my own shit. Never gonna have anyone write for me. They'd have to if you ever see me like blink 5 times at an interview, like really fast, like, oh, how was writing the album? And I go, it's like he didn't write that. He didn't write anything on there. But yeah.
One thing I think I found too that with working with other people, because we're exploring options with this one girl who's getting into promotions and promoting things, and she's got a really large TikTok following, a really large like Facebook following, to where it's easier for us just to work with somebody than to get some of that information out there than us to take that on ourselves. Yeah. Especially when none of us use TikTok in our van. We're like older apparently now, since you've pointed that out a few times.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But And it's nice finding people that are in their beginning stages as well. Like the person who took our last photos for our band, she's a new and upcoming photographer trying to get her name out there. And collabing with other people that are starting out, you can kind of feed off of each other's. You can use each other and feed off of each other's energy out there that everyone's promoting you for.
Mhm.
Like say, hey, check out the person who took our photos. She's did a great job, and she's like, check out this new band that I just photographed. And we're both advertising for ourselves and each other at the same time, helping build that following even stronger. So if especially with you being in a bigger area, I think you have way more opportunities than what we do
Yeah,
where we are.
I'm very lucky to live in a music area. Like I live in a
Hmm.
music city. So that was another one amazing thing. I also like I agree with you with building with people from from like lower and stuff like that, because it's always great to have that person who, the number one thing I feel like for like meeting people who are a little bit like not as high in their careers
Hmm.
as like other like creators and stuff like that is they they're gonna go through some growing pains with you, but once they understand your mind and they understand how you like to do things, then they can progress forward. Like I my one of my biggest flaws with like especially with videos or like music videos, not YouTube. I got that shit locked down. Music videos is like I don't know locations. Like I have no idea where to shoot. So I always, with the guy I've been talking to recently, I played him the song and I like generally showed him the ideas I had for the video, just kind of like what I wanted to do with it, how I want it to look like. And he within like 10 or 15 minutes, he was like, "Oh, I have a perfect idea for that. Perfect place." He texted to me and we like kind of talked about framing shots and shit like that. And it was really cool because it was uh it was nice having someone who could translate my ideas.
Hmm.
That's why I feel like the biggest thing about a group is having someone who can, like, knowing there are people who can translate your thoughts into product or into items or into these things. Like that's really cool for me.
Oh, entirely. And having those people. And then always knowing in the future they got your back for anything. If they're going to find out of any type of ideas or opportunity, they're going to put you in there first because you stuck with them from the beginning as well. You helped push them and get their name out there.
Yeah.
So it's a really good relationship,
Mhm.
and that's really important when you're rising up as a newer artist or photographer or anything you wanted to do. So
Mhm.
I know I'm lucky to lean on my brother a lot as well. He has his degree in marketing and with the specified field in social media marketing and things, and we use him all the
Yeah.
time.
I need to that's the next person I need to add to my team. I need to add someone like who's just good at social media, who I can just like
Mhm.
have on my team and they're like, "Yo, bro, you missed your quota of 10 tweets today." And I'll be like, and I'll be like, so just like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "No, don't be sorry. Get 20 out by tomorrow." And or that's what
Push you in the right way.
yeah, that's why I know I'm not big enough where I need a manager, but that's why I know I'm going to need a manager, like 100%. Like I'm gonna need someone who's gonna call me or text me and be like, "Hey, nah,
Yeah,
you're fucking up."
it can be a lot to try and do yourself. I know my brother-in-law is a pretty successful country music artist who just he's on tour right now, and he still keeps a lot in house. But my sister started taking on a lot as well, and it just gets to the point where you have to have help. There's just no way.
Yeah,
And him being a solo artist as well, like he has so much that he has to do, and including hiring out musicians and people to help him. Like I go out and play with him a lot as well, and some people that you can get to go with you just don't have the experience or the know-how or the drive to make things sound what they need to. So building that team is so important because you want to have people that understand what you want to do and your vision, and want you to be successful. Because that's the hardest thing. You can pay someone to be your manager, but do they really want you to be successful? I mean, if you quit paying them, they're just going to go to somebody else.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's real true. I feel like depending on the person though, they have to understand their success is staked in your success.
Mm-hmm.
So like a bigger paycheck. Even this sounds like we said before, music is a business. It has
Mm-hmm.
always has been. We've tainted it as such, and that's just how it's going to be forever. But like they have to understand that they inherently grow better if you grow better. Like they get more
Exactly.
money in that, and they also can. If they genuinely, I think another thing I would want in a manager is a manager who genuinely enjoys my music, like someone
Mm-hmm.
who's almost as excited as I am, or if not more. Like if I play a manager some of my shit, and he's like, I think I want a woman manager, to be honest. I just imagine her being cool. I just imagine her being cooler. That's it. Women are just. I'm just cooler with women than I am with men. That's. I have to say that out. This is weird. This not. Is that weird? Is that weird? The,
No,
I've always had more female friends than men friends, like
I
throughout my
mean, I
entire
was
life.
the same. So
Yeah.
I've had like one male best friend and one female best friend pretty much since I was like 12. So,
Yeah.
but generally more female best friends than guys.
Nah, bro. I don't want to be doing guy shit, bro. You know me. I don't like sports. I don't like fucking.
I know it hurts me a little bit.
The shit's weird, bro. I'm sorry. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Why has no one admitted it's weird? Why do we want to watch people chase balls? Why is there so many games about chasing balls?
It's not so much of what they're doing. It is this feeling of like you're a part of something with other people and having that common interest and ground to come together and cheer about something with others.
See,
It can be anything realistically.
I can understand that if you're on the team.
I don't know, man. Like when
And I'm not
when
calling
you
you out. I need to say that. I'm not calling you out. I'm not saying there's anything
right.
wrong with sports teams or you enjoying sports. I'm the weird one. I know I'm the weird one. I'm the one outside the circle.
I would almost throw it back at you and say, what's the difference between being a fan of a sports team or a musician? Because they're not up on stage on you, but they still feel like when they're at a performance, they're feeling they're with you. They're experiencing the same thing with you.
For me, I'll say the difference is I can like for a sports team, maybe it's because I'm not invested. Maybe if I was more invested, I'd feel the same. But for
Uh-huh.
music, like music, no matter what, like I grew up like the most important thing in my life always was music. So I couldn't even compare the two. They're not even sort of similar to me because music could always elicit an emotion. It can like music to me is the best way of conversation that's ever existed in the world.
Sure.
So I can compare that to sports.
Yeah, and see, I can have both because my mom is phenomenal pianist. She can get on the piano and just do whatever she wants. She's been playing since she was 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get into music till I was probably about 13 or 14 and really took it serious. So when I grew up, all I kind of grew up on was, our family would get together, we, barbecue, we would watch the football teams play,
Mm-hmm.
and that was to me it wasn't what they were doing. It was coming together with my family, watching something that we all cohesively loved and wanted to do well. And when they would do well, we would feel that same good or passion. Just like if I was to come together with some of my music friends and we'd come together and start talking about music or writing something, it's those same feelings. There are a lot of people that aren't able to, play sports or music both, but they still get those same highs and feelings that we would do as a performer on any stage, whether it's music, playing, rapping, playing a sport. They're still getting that connection because they may not be able to do that, but they're a fan of what you're doing, and they feel like when they watch you, they're a part of something bigger than themselves. And I think that's all what we're chasing after, regardless what it is.
Yeah, I appreciate the fuck out of those people. Those are the people. Those are the real like winners in life because
Yeah.
they just get to consume like these people's creations and just have them in their
Hmm.
brains and like take them in. Especially in the age of the internet where we're
Oh yeah.
like everything is available everywhere anytime for anything. So
Hmm.
the idea of someone choosing your like creations and spending their time, just the idea of someone spending 20 to 25 minutes of their time in their day of their life that they could never have back, just listening to your creation or enjoying your creation of whatever it is, like you said, music, art, football, fucking like dance, fucking just your creation, your amalgamation of things, and they decided to take your thing in is awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of feeling,
Mhm.
you know, and I get mad at my younger self when I think back to all the times I didn't buy that band shirt or CD at the state, you know, seeing people playing live, because yeah, I loved what they were doing. I spent a lot of time there and I followed them and always promoted them, but you know, I still wouldn't contribute, you know, that last monetary step, which I probably should have since I love them so much. Just like we were talking a minute ago, I bought a vinyl record and CD. Like I don't even have a real way to playing the CD besides in my car, but I bought it to support them, you know, because their music makes me feel something, you know, bigger than myself.
I'll never forgive myself for never going to a Mac Miller concert. I'll never forgive myself. And you have this feeling with
Same.
people. Yeah. Like you have this feeling with people that you think this is some shit I told my girl this. Like everyone in my life is immortal until they die. Where I feel like anyone in my life, I could never see them passing. So whenever something like that happens, like I didn't know Mac personally. I'm not saying like he was a friend of mine, but like to all the music he made over the years and to hear it and hear his experiences, his life and the things he was going through and all of that. And then like one day just going to work and just hearing that, just open up Twitter like I always fucking do. And then I just see some shit that just seems unbelievable. And whenever I see like celebrities pass, my first thought is, oh, this is a joke. That's always my first thought, no matter what. And then blase, get see the news is real. Fucking we and I just think to myself like he's been to my city so many times. He's released albums. He's been out here so many times, and I've had the time, I've had the money, I've had the ability, and I didn't go. And I can never have that experience. That experience is never available to me, and that is like that was the learning moment where I was like, "There's no such thing as like we can't go to a concert. Like there, we have to go."
That those same feelings with Chester from Lincoln Park. You know, I was lucky enough. I went to Lincoln Park. The closest big venue place where those bands play is 4 to 6 hours away from me. So it's always been a lot more of a chore. And you know, I was very lucky to get to see Lincoln Park in their prime when they just released Hybrid Theory. And you know, recently another one of my musical idols, if you will, passed on, which was Joey Jordison of Slipknot, and Slipknot being so influential during my teen angsty years, man. Like I always like I got plenty of time to go see these guys, you know, and then
that's the
their bass
constant thought
player
in your
died.
head. Like
Yeah,
it's
you know, then their bass player died. You know, he inspired me to play the bass guitar, like him and 3 other individuals. And I was never going to hear that original piece, you know. Then Joey got kicked out, and then another member got kicked out. Now Joey's dead, so he can't even come back as a reunion thing, you know. And it just really put a lot in perspective after, you know, some of your musical idols die. Like you said, everyone's immortal until they're gone.
Yeah, that's how it feels. Like it feels like there's no way this person can ever leave your life, especially like no, I don't want to get too I don't want to get too sappy, but I fucking
I know.
yeah, I'm just gonna move past it. But
Yeah, my mom always would talk about how she just couldn't. She'd go on and on and on about how musicians from her life that meant a lot to her passed on, and I never understood it until Chester died.
Yeah,
And that still affects me. I'll go down dark rabbit holes all the time of watching videos and seeing him obviously cry for help when then we were just watching. You know, he was just there for our entertainment.
yeah, bro. You should stop listening to my music then.
I love your music, dude.
No,
No, that's my jam, man. Like,
yeah.
I'll listen to the sad stuff all the time. I mean, Kat got me that emo forever sticker for a reason.
Just so you can be like, next project drops, you're like, where's the emo track?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to first.
Uh, I need to put in parentheses for Tyler, and then
Uh, yep.
that's
Oh man.
that's oh my god. I'm trying to think. Okay,
Have,
go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, have you ever put? I know you've released a lot of stuff online. One of my favorite things to always look at back when CDs were a thing was who the artists were thinking,
Mhm.
because I'd always go in there and find other artists I didn't know, and if I'm like, well, if they thanking them for helping them, I'm gonna go listen to them, or like seeing just who they're thanking. Have you ever thought about doing anything like that or putting anything out with some of your albums?
Do you remember? So I don't know if you remember the demo tapes art. I'll throw it on
Mm,
screen, but I'm gonna. I think I can send it to you. Actually, I'm just send it to you on Discord. On the demo tapes art, I didn't. I don't think I thanked any artist particularly. Um, let me. So if you look at the bottom of the demo tapes art, it says thank you to
oh,
yeah, Shy, Mike, Lucas Quinn, the Get Killed or Die Trying crew, Cam, Sahara, John, Lola, and you. I feel like you were on. You should have been on there. Hold on. I swear to
that's
God.
Tyler before Get Killed or Die Trying crew, but I didn't think that was me.
It, I swear it does. Does it say Tyler? Yeah, it says
Yes,
Tyler.
it's Tyler
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Because my poem's at the end of one of those songs.
Yeah, yeah. And
Dude, I love that that demo tape, man. I love it.
yeah, that's what not Ty, fucking, what's it called? Sorry is low-key demo tapes too, but the idea of demo tapes was the entire premise of it is me rapping on other people's stuff. So it was just like that entire project was just like it was my first thing doing music like as a full project in so long. So that's why it was so special to me. I love the entire that artwork is my favorite artwork I've designed in so long because it's just like I don't
I
know.
just realized it's you.
You didn't realize it was me at first?
No, I see it now.
I was wearing a bandana.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
And you're kind of looking down and away. Yeah,
yeah, and it's my face destroyed and faded. It's fucking dope. Love it.
it is super dope.
Yeah, man. I'm an artist at heart. I'm a fucking Swiss Army knife, man.
Same.
Yeah. But yeah, I've never done it before. I think I've thanked my influences like on Twitter and said stuff like that. Like I'll say who's inspiring my album. The biggest
Mhm.
inspirations I have in music right now, just consistently, and I think I've told you his name before, is an artist named Sean Leon.
Mhm.
He's my biggest inspiration as like an artist, like as a full-on artist, like not just a rapper, not just someone who sings, not just someone who does this and that, just like as a complete artist. Because that man's like roll out ideas and his brain thoughts on just doing music is just so completely different from what other people do. Is out of this world. Like he recently released an album. He released a project. He called it a beta, essentially. He
Mhm.
called it a beta, where it was only 4 songs, and it was these wonderful songs. I loved all of them. And then he took the project off of streaming services. He took it down off, and on his own personal website, he released the 1.0 or the full release version with all the songs on his own personal website where you could buy from him directly. Instead of going through streaming sites and streaming it, you could just buy it from him. He also released, I think he released the design of a lot of his stuff as NFTs as well. Also, and his entire rollout up to that period was amazing as well. But the way I got introduced to him was because of this is hilarious to me. uh I was just really into the producer community, and there was this producer named Wonder Girl, and Wonder Girl is a phenomenal producer. She works with this another producer named Eastbound, and they're really cool. And I was just looking up Wonder Girl records she had made, and one time on SoundCloud she had like reposted one of Sean Leon's songs, and I played it, and I like you ever hear a song and at first it's good and it hits you and you're like, okay, I'll kind of just save this. It's nice. I'll listen to it again. And then like months, not even a month passes, that's the only song you're playing. Just constantly. And over time, this man slowly snuck into my repeated search history for music. And he just I'm like looking. I put notifications out on Twitter so I can hear when he tweets because I need to know what this man is saying. I am a Sean Leon stan. I'm writing letters to this man. I think I was trying to be on his design team for this project because he was looking for designers, and if I need to send you the website, bro. Just looking at the website,
Oh, for sure.
yeah, like it's fucking his font. Like, there's no way he did not custom design the font on that website. He made this Rubik's Cube kind of explode. It's some shit. Like, I could talk about Sean Leon for hours. Don't ever. Did he start? If Sean Leon have a concert in Atlanta, I'm going. He also wrote for Kanye West. He wrote.
Crazy.
Yeah, like and he's a smaller artist, and Kanye just like saw his creativity and his music style and how he writes and how he is, and was like, I need that. I need that. So it's but yeah. I like name influences. This is what I was trying to say. I name a lot of my influences on Twitter, but I haven't like done that recently where I've like maybe next project I'll say like I'll if I don't know if I'm designing the back cover or our graphic designer is for the next project. I'll have to talk to my producer about that because we throw up in the air who ends up designing stuff. But if I end up designing the back cover, even if I don't, I'll probably still be like, hey, I want to thank you to these people because I don't feel like that's said enough.
It's really not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was one of the things that we were talking about, you know, putting out our own little EPs or something that we're going to sell at our shows. You know, I made it very clear I want like a thank you section because those sections have help you find out more about the artist, find out about other people in the industry, find out about other, you know, musicians and things, or just anything that is meaningful to that artist, you know. I think one of the craziest experiences I ever had was on The Used. Burt McCracken, the band The Used. Burt McCracken thinks, you know, this woman named Kate who's very meaningful to him. They were in some sort of relationship. I don't know if they're married or not. I don't think they were. But all this love and affection and outpouring to her. And then in their second CD in Love and Death, in the thank yous, she passed on. You know, and that whole CD is called In Love and Death in relative to that. And there's so much outpouring in the thank you about Kate and everything about her that I have not forgotten it to this day. And I was like, what, 15 when that CD came out? And it, you know, you can find things or learn things differently about the artist that you will never get from anything else. And I've always just connected with that part of the CD over any other part. You know, I don't care about pictures or lyrics. I want to see, you know, what are you into? Who are you connected to? You know, things like that. So
I think like the current age of that right now is Twitter and is like on TikTok and stuff like that because it's constantly showing love and showing how much you love someone's music and you can show your influences from that. Like, I really hope I don't get canceled for this, but the original flow for Ty is from a Tory Lane song and like and I don't want to admit that I enjoy the song, but his first verse, like there's a verse on there and it just made me want to be toxic. Like that I heard that verse and I've been like low key being more and more toxic as the days go on and I feel it in my heart. Like
well, I mean, it's fine. The women that inspired that song are definitely toxic, so
not just your song. I'm saying just in life. Like just in life.
Well, you said Ty specifically,
but just the writing. I'm saying like the writing of it. I was like, damn, toxic. And then it just keeps going on. And I've just been writing more and more toxic shit as the days have been going by. Like I'm in a toxic mood. Like I'm in a text her first she respond and leave her on red kind of mood. So,
So, uh, I had a pretty unique with an artist. I'm going to ask you the question before I tell you it.
okay.
Um, what is your take on doing private concerts with like a set number of tickets that only go out to whoever the first come first serve? Like say 20 to 30 tickets set concert. It's just you as the artist and 30 of your fans.
If it was a really intimate setting,
Very
like
intimate setting. Say
intimate,
recording studio with just you and then chairs around you. Just you and your fans. Where's your take? Do you yay or nay?
I would do that.
You would do that?
I would do that. The only reason why is because I think like, because I know I'm, because of my discography, like I know my music, and the music I would probably, I'm now getting performing songs. Like I'm getting songs for crowds. I'm getting songs for multiple people in a room. I'm getting songs for people to get like high energy to. But I know my usual like music and my usual demographic would, like, imagine high. I don't know if you remember High and Alone or H&A, but imagine H&A in a, like just over soft piano, very light drums in a closed off room.
Man.
Like that sounds wonderful. That's why I need to get this tiny desk. I need tiny
desks.
I need a tiny
desk.
desk.
Tiny desk, yeah. But with 30 people instead of like everyone watching.
Yeah. But what was the question? Ask me the question, because I feel like I reacted in a way you found favorable.
Yeah, no, the question was, are you for settings like that for artists doing smaller shows like that for their fans?
Yeah.
To connect differently.
Completely. I feel bad for the people who don't get to go, but that's, certain things are just meant to be experienced a certain way. I feel like that's the same reason why we have like, there are art shows where it's not that many people allowed in the gallery. If that makes
sense. I got to go there. One of my favorite artists and musicians of all time is Craig Owens of Chiodos and the band Drugs. And he did that. It was just a small setting. 30 people got tickets, you know, and he was able, and this ties into, you know, that thank you section. You know, he took time, he introduced himself to each one of us, you know, found out where we were from, where we came from, how far we had to travel, you know, gave us hugs. This is pre-COVID, so we were hugging still.
Like, had to throw that in there. Well, yes, we were. It was pre-COVID. No one.
Pre-COVID. Yeah. But you know, we had chairs set up, and this was in a recording studio in Denver. So we're in this recording studio. In the back room, it was just a piano, his acoustic guitar, him sitting on the stool. Well, there are all these chairs set up that were pretty far away from us, and he had us come and sit down closer on this giant rug in front of him. So I was a foot from the dude, you know, and he was telling us how he wrote the songs, why he wrote the songs, and what they were about. And we could ask him any questions about anything that he's written musically. You know, there was a time he took away from Chiodos, and somebody asked him about that. You know, he has a pretty unique voice. They were asking about that, but he was explaining things of songs that I've never found anywhere on YouTube or anywhere. You know, people were recording, but no one put those videos out. Like those are just ours. Like those are our memories, you know, with that artist.
And like, and some people are gonna feel bad, and they're going to like, there are people out there who's like, oh, I didn't get to see it. I'm so sad. There are some experiences that are just supposed to remain special. And
yeah,
that's a thing that people like, I feel like not enough people understand. You have to just let some things remain special. Some things just need to be simple. And I need to stop hitting my fucking mic.
That raw emotion, man, is just something you can't replicate.
Yeah. The closest thing I've seen replicated to that is Tyler, the Creator, recently did a concert on Amazon, for Amazon, and during the entire concert, he had these moments where he would just like talk. He'd talk like how he was feeling when he made the songs that he's about to do, and kind of give backstory to it, like how it got made, when it got made, what happened. And like, even though I just watched it through a YouTube video, like I watched that and it felt like I couldn't get enough of it. Like I damn near didn't give a fuck about the songs he was performing. I just wanted to hear him talk. I just wanted to hear his thought process and how he thought in his mind. Right. And that's the idea of just, if he ever did something like that, and it's like, I had even a remote chance to go, I'm doing everything I fucking can. I'm gonna be on that rug.
Yeah, man. Like, and you're right, because yeah, I wanted to hear the songs, but him talking and showing that emotion, there was a few times where I thought he was just gonna cry because of so much that went into these songs that were so important to him. Things, scenarios that happened from his childhood and through his best friends that he wouldn't share on stage. Some artists are like, yeah, we did this song, blah blah blah, but not like this setting where you're sitting, 4 inches from the dude who's pouring his heart out to you about why he wrote the song and then performing that song. Like it was amazing, and I feel like there's not enough artists that take the time to do that for their fans.
I definitely like. I'm afraid to perform some of my music because I think I will cry.
Good. They'd want to see. I would want to see that happen.
You want to
You
see?
know,
You want to see me cry performing "Fuck a Friend"?
yeah. I mean, those are some of my favorite videos. Like, I know in the Lost video, I talked about a lot about Paramore, and there's a song that she wrote, 26, that she can't sing without crying in general, and you feel that emotion, you feel that pain that she has, that she is putting in that song. It's not a show, it's not a gimmick, it's real feelings. It's what we all want out of music.
Yeah, and that's definitely what I want to give. Now I'll definitely have to add like my crying songs at the end so I can end the show and they see tears in my eyes. Like everything's hype, and then at the end of it, I'm just like, "You got scars." And she's like, "Well," someone's looking at me and like, is he okay?" No,
No, he's not.
Put the camera down.
Yeah, and I feel like rap would be a lot harder to do that than some of the other stuff.
Then crying? No, it's not.
Really? I mean, it's easier for me to get in the mood if we're pulling out the acoustics and we're singing all slow and sad, but I feel like rap would be hard.
Nah, bro. Fucking go on the last episode, I told you the song that can make me cry.
This is true.
I need you to go listen to that song, and then I promise you, if you saw that live and he was performing it like he was fucking writing it, you would. If he didn't cry, I think he didn't have a soul. That's how I feel. I don't think I also think that's not a live song. That's not a song you do live. Like there's simple tracks you just don't do live.
Yeah, and there's a lot of artists that for the first time when they do that one song live, they make a big deal about doing it live, and I don't think people really take into consideration why they don't do that. I know I was saying about the Used before in that CD where his, love of his life had passed on. They did a set in Denver where he performed a couple of those songs that they've never ever done before, and it's just because it took him like those 15 years to be able to do it. And I don't think people get mad at set lists. I think that's like an easy transition. People get mad when you don't play what they want you to play.
Why would I? But like,
what's that?
I was gonna say, like, if someone paid to come see me, like, you came here to see me. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Like,
exactly. Like, because in this, there's from another local band that I'm kind of friends with. They've kind of taken a break and been doing a lot of acoustic stuff, and people have been asking us about doing longer live streams, and we're like, like, we get that you want to hear certain songs, but we may have already played those songs so many times at so many other live streams that that the people that are making every single one of them, one, they're going to get burned out and not want to hear us. So we got to keep it entertaining. We got to keep it exciting and different. Like, we're not doing it just to make you mad. This is so we can keep you as the fan from getting burnt out, because that can really happen, and artists do that, and sometimes the songs just have too much into them that, yeah, you love that song, it's your favorite song, but that pain that you love so much that you're hearing is real. And sometimes you just can't do that. You don't want to revisit that and bring you down and bring down all the emotions you're trying to give out to everybody in the middle of a live show. You're coming out to have fun, not to see somebody completely break down.
Yeah,
but I don't think there's a lot that's considered for artists when they're performing their set and stuff like that. So
a lot of people are either there like it's either it's your super fan or someone who just paid to see a show. Those are your two options. So we'll see. I'm definitely gonna do some shows. I'll record them so you can see me cry. I don't want to cry. It's not lit. I've been told I think the last time I cried was 2020 when I think I pulled my arm out of socket. That was the last time I cried.
Jeez.
Yeah, I went to I had to be raced to the hospital, but like we didn't want to pay ambulance fees, and my mom didn't have a car, so we had to call my grandma. It was awkward. It was really awkward, but
Sounds awful.
it was awful. And I'm in the fucking hospital, and I dropped like my mom said like I haven't seen you cry in so many years. This has been
Bro,
crazy.
like the last time I think I really did, aside from watching, a movie that was purposely trying to make you upset, was the poem I wrote for you that's on the Friends demo tape. At the end of it, I can't read that through. Like, even you can hear it in my voice, like I was getting there,
bro.
just reading it. But it's so true about how I feel towards you and some of our other really close friends, and I can't get through that I can't read it without tearing up. Like, it's
like I gotta tell, this isn't funny. The situation is like more cosmically funny because I remember getting everyone's audio because I called everyone. I called everyone but you. I talked with them on the phone. That was the main thing. And then I remember talking to you, and I was like, "Hey, bro, like if you want to send me some audio, send me something, it'd be cool." And I'm like going through audio. I think I was doing all the audio. I heard yours. I think I heard yours in the song. That's the thing. I put yours in the song before I listened to it. So I put it in the song, and I'm listening to it, and I can hear you choke up, and I'm sitting there like, did he just send me this? He sent me this. And I was thinking like you were gonna send me something like, because if you listen to him, it's Shy going, "Oh, don't wait for opportunities," which is one of my favorite things ever. I love that. I'm gonna throw it on every single fucking album I have. My other friend is just like, he's like, just like take chances or some other shit like that. And then we have yours, and it's just like comes in at the end, and the beat slows down, and it's like you're just sitting there listening to it, and it's like it's almost a sobering thought because the entire song is so like I feel like about like distance and feeling away, or just messing with people, or like just I don't even know fucking explain. It's just it's a good ass song. Camp Track is dope.
It's very good. Yes, it's very.
And fucking it the entire, when the beat like slows down and your part comes on, it's like a sobering thought. Like it pulls you away from the song for a little bit, and you're just like, whoa, what's going on? What's happening? And I fucking love that. I love that so much. That has to be probably, that's my favorite track on there next to Fuck a Friend. Fuck a Friend is just amazing though.
It's a great song, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a good artist, bro. I make okay music.
I agree. That's why we're friends. That's not why we're friends. That's a lie. We're friends because you're awesome, but not because you rap good.
Nah, bro.
I will let you know though. I do throw it out that I'm friends with. I'm not gonna say where you're from. I don't know if you do that here. I have a friend from this city that's a rapper, and they're like, "Whoa, that's so cool." I'm like, "It is cool." I use you for clout.
You use me for clout? You're a clout chaser? Oh no! Oh no! I'm friends with a clout chaser. Oh god! How'd I get?
If it matters, it's only to a bunch of farmers, people like that out here. So
I don't care. Just say where I'm from, bro. I put Atlanta in the video.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
We said Atlanta. I said I lived in a Music City.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, no. When you asked me that question, tell me what 2020 means to you. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna go there.
he said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking do it.
Like, I went through a lot of really bad stuff, as like a lot of other people did, on top of just getting COVID, and that all came out.
Yeah,
but it's real.
It was real. That's probably my favorite track. I'm so glad. I'm glad we have music together. Like not just that, but like just in general, like having music. I love having friends who do music and people who are like who really give a fuck. Like that's the main thing. Like I've had people, like of course whenever you have, like I don't know if you've ever had this like kind of interaction with people. Like of course you have people come over your house and it's like, oh, you have a microphone, or you got the studio set up. Oh, let me record some tracks, and you have people come by and they're just not serious about it. And it's funny every now and then. It's fun every now and then. But at the end of the day, it's like this is low-key a waste of my time. And I think like one person who I've definitely who I want to talk about. He's probably going to be on the next episode of this if I can get him over here. Cam, like Cam is a wonderful dude, wonderful guy. Fucking makes his music was he had problems with music at the beginning. I think his biggest problem, which I hope he doesn't be mad at me for saying this, I'm gonna add him when I play this. I'm gonna like cut this out and put it on Twitter and add him and say like he would come to my house all the time and freestyle, because that's how we when me and him he used to give me rides home all the time. So he would always me and him would always freestyle in the car, and that's how I think he started taking music more seriously when he met me, and we like started linking up more, especially at my current place. And like working with him has been some of the best music experiences I've ever had, because he's just someone you can like bounce ideas off of. He comes in, he's ready to work. He does not. The main thing I love about him, and I don't get in a lot of artists, especially I've been working with recently, is he does not waste your time. That's the main thing. And like I feel like as a person, like not even just like me, just a person, as you grow up and get older, you realize time isn't infinite. So you could be spending your time with the right or wrong people, and it sucks when you do it with the wrong people. And when you meet those people who have a similar mindset to you, like I said, building that team of people who are coming in. I know like him, Lola is like amazing to work with. Oh my god, I put the shit. I sent her a song. I sent her a song for the next tape coming up, and I think within the day she sent me back like 18 vocal tracks, and I was just like, yeah, I was like, yes.
And people don't know that's not easy to do. You don't just sit there and go and do it in one take.
Yeah, like,
it's probably like 30, 50 takes per one try, like for one 4-measure section. Like,
and she fucking killed almost all of them. Like, and I also feel comfortable enough with her to tell her like, hey, I don't like this. Could you do this differently? Could you, like, I feel comfortable telling her, hey, could you re-record this? I feel comfortable playing a song back for Cam and being like, oh, you came in like this, maybe we should do this. And it's so great having those people who are not only receptive but great to work with. And again, like, I've worked with some artists, oh my god, like no, don't say names. don't say names. Don't say names.
Oh man,
don't say names.
No. I get the feeling like there's people we've tried out. They're like, hey, you want to come hear us jam with us, see what it's like, and then they grab it. They're like, yeah, let's do it. I've done all this stuff. They pick up a guitar and they're like, they won't even play a chord for you. Or I go out, or someone comes over and I have guitars hanging on the wall. They'll take one off and they'll like not hold it correctly and attempt to strum it. And they're like, what can you do? And then I'll do like something for them. And then they're like, they realize, okay, I can't tell this guy I play guitar when I obviously don't. Like so many people do.
Bro, I'm trying to learn guitar, and I'm gonna take your advice and learn numbers, but I have no idea where the fuck to get started. But I just want to learn basic shit. That's really it. I just want to learn.
Start with chords.
Start with chords. Okay. I'm gonna give that a shot.
You're already really good at chords and stuff with the piano, and it translates the same to the guitar. You just got to figure out where those go.
I'm completely self-taught on all music theory. Of all,
it's good. You're really good.
Thank you.
And that there's a lot to be said for people. I know we talked about this in the Lost video, but
the Lost episode.
The Lost episode, where we were comparing each other's stuff, and I went through college and was trained professionally by professional people, and I was taught theory and how it was supposed to be done. And we talked about that versus people who just inherently understand music and get it. Like, you just get it. You understand where things go, how chords work,
how scales should. Don't gas me up too much. I got a big ego. Don't do it. But keep going.
You should be gassed up. Like, I have always been one that was going to tell you the truth about your music, what parts I liked or didn't like. But everything you give to me, I'm like, bro, this is just fire. But you're one of those people that gets it, and you'll sit there and toil over it until it's perfect. Versus people that I've been with that are professionally trained. Like, I have a really good friend growing up who played bass. That was his core instrument, and so I thought he should be like really good at some things. But I'm like off camera now.
You're just like slightly ajar. Move. That's
the
opposite.
Wrong way.
That's the opposite.
And he was phenomenal at it, but he couldn't go outside what he was trained to do. He couldn't feel writing. He couldn't feel anything that was about playing music and writing music and composing music. He just couldn't understand that part,
Mm-hmm.
and back to the whole you got to have the right people in your group and make music with conversation.
Yeah.
Like my friend John that I write with, or Ryan or Adam, any of those three guys, we'll bring a part to the table and we'll play it over and over and over for each other. And the common phrase used is, I got to hear the part that I know is there, because we're waiting to hear the part come to us so we can write it.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people that are just stuck professionally trained that can never ever experience that or get there, because that's just not something they inherently get.
It's not something you can learn. You can't
No.
learn the idea of what will fit here. There's no
Exactly.
such thing that can't be taught. Like that my whole thing when I was like growing up and learning music and trying to get better at it was like throw shit at the wall. Like that was my whole mindset. Just keep throwing shit at the wall and something's gonna stick. And you eventually develop habits. Sometimes they're bad habits, sometimes they're good habits. Like the biggest thing for, I would say, the producer community, one of the biggest arguments is bass being out of key. That's a big thing, because a lot of like new starting artists will get like some of these loops or pre-made sounds and just throw them in there and then just throw a bass on there and not tune it, and then it just sounds. But like sometimes that shit goes platinum, and that's sometimes that shit goes platinum. So it throws this wrench into the ideas of like, yo, it makes you, especially as an artist, it makes you question like, where is the, I want to say where's the set lines? Where's the set lines? Where are the goalposts? And then you realize over time there is no set lines. There is like no fucking there's no fucking rubric to music. There's no shit like that. Like
it's feel, man. It's all feel.
Yeah. That's why like I feel like that way with writing and making music. Like I feel like how I am now compared to how I used to be, where it was just like we were talking before, I could never do that shit where I follow someone else's structure like that. I'm not putting someone else's beat in my fucking thing and then being like, oh yeah, this is how I want it to like go like this progression. That shit sounds stupid.
Yeah. Anytime I bring something like a new song idea to my friends, they're always just like, okay, we got to get prepared that we're never going to repeat the same thing again. It's going to change time signatures and key signatures about every 8 bars. So, and I never realized that about myself. That's what's good about surrounding people that have outside music influences than your own.
Yeah.
Because I would write things and it would be, every section would change differently because that's just what I was hearing, and having other takes and things is just so powerful.
Yeah.
I never realized that about myself, and then it forces me to write differently because I want to expand my ability. But this also could have. Oh, go ahead.
No, go finish your thought.
I was going to tie it back to everything comes from jazz and blues.
I was about to say Jews. I thought you were about to say
well, because it came out jazz and blues kind of merged for me like, for a second.
It all comes from the Jews.
no anti-Semitic comments from this person. But because the best things that are about jazz and blues both together is both of them break all the boundaries of music. It breaks everything that you're supposed to do, whether that be time or feel or notes that are out of place on purpose. They all break from that, and they all develop that groove or pocket that is what is so derivative in all of music today. Because it takes those rules and says, cool, we'll follow that, but then we're going to do our own thing, and it's going to sound right because we don't need those goalposts to keep us contained.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that for rap right now is like, there's no one there's no one writing 16 bars anymore. No one's sitting down and writing like 16 lines. Here's my flow. Here's all of that. No one's writing that shit. What's happening is for a lot of artists are like freestyling and going into boobs and just like doing like multiple takes over and over and just like keep lining up their verses because a lot of people can't rap entire verses. But I feel like that though is definitely what you're talking about, where it's like structure. And some of my favorite, like, I don't know if you remember Redbone by Childish Gambino. That entire song is technically not in structure at all. Like, it's like, I think the chorus is only like 3.5 bars, and then like the verse is like seven and some change, and then like it goes into this like it's really fucking cool.
It's
And
crazy.
yeah, and it's like this idea of not following structure, because it's so much cooler, right?
Yeah.
It's so much cooler to explore.
It is. Well, it's because you're experiencing a thought and emotion versus just a by the numbers song.
Okay. So I think we talked for a long time. I'm gonna ask you a couple of like basic questions for
Sure.
for just not basic, just general things that you want to plug and talk about. You said you guys were you said before the winter was working on music coming out relatively soon. When was the expectant date for that?
We're hoping to get an EP out before the end of December.
So before the winter.
See what we did there?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, we've been putting a lot of time into getting merch and some other really cool experiences for some of our fans that are doing a little bit more for us. We're still working on getting that together, because we definitely want to make sure the people that are supporting us now are getting something in return from us, because those are the people that are going to help us go further. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout. Before the winter on Facebook, before the winter music on Instagram. I'll give you all the stuff so you can just make it flash.
I'll make a little graphic. I'm not gonna make it. I'm just gonna gonna find it somewhere else.
Like here and here.
Yeah, it will be here. General over there, somewhere in the description, definitely. And anything else you want to plug or talk about?
Yeah, I mean, we could plug my. I have a fiction press where I have most of my writings for most of our songs, lyrics. Most of them are poems, where you can catch the 2020, verse that we put at the end of your record. So lots of good stuff there. I don't have anything personally to really plug aside from that.
You want to plug your Twitter?
I could. I'll give that to you, because I don't know what it is off the top of my head. Like, I'm not big into social media. Like, if you want to talk to me directly, look at Before the Winter on Facebook, because I have a contract to look at that. So.
You have a contract?
It's an agreement. So,
his Twitter will flash above my head or his head. I don't know. We'll be there.
Facts.
What else? Yeah, you guys can follow me at Shamir IIIRC at Twitter, and I stream every Sunday on Twitch at twitch.tv/Shamir Does Things. What else? I don't really have anything else to plug. Any other socials are in the description. You guys need to download Stream Beats. Listen to I'm Sorry is fucking dope. It's awesome.
Stream Beats.
Yes, Stream Beats also. But yes, listen to I'm Sorry. That's what I really want you to do. Listen, I'm Sorry. It's fucking dope. I love it. I made that in like several months.
It's amazing. It's great.
It's a nice little bit. It's something to hold you guys off. But
I'm biased because of songs, but and then I helped on some of the Stream Beat songs, so I'm biased.
We gotta get you on Volume 3. Volume 3 is coming out like soon. Like
yo, that one thing I sent you, bro, that you kind of.
I'll throw it in there. I might throw it in there. I have to mess with it more. I didn't like it. It's just in a demo stage, but that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. If I do not see you, have a wonderful good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Peace out. Bye.
point I want to go into after that.
Okay, just if you don't believe you'll remember it, just write it down somewhere. I know you're a MySpace man.